Hi everyone, this is Vijay Lakshmi, working as Assistant Professor at Kamaraj College of Engineering Technology in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Today, this video I am going to deliver the topic is Project Network Techniques. Let us see what is Project Network Technique one by one. The topics covered here is Forward Pass Technique, Backward Pass Technique. Now, I am going to give the lecture about on what is first forward pass technique used in project network techniques. So, let us see what is a forward pass technique. It is mainly used for the project manager to allocate the resource and monitor the project workflow without having any as much as of delay to complete the execution of the project. So, let us see the definition of forward pass technique is, it is a technique used to move through a project network diagrams. Mainly in this forward pass technique, we can construct the network diagram. Through this diagram only, we have to be calculate the durations of the project completion work. Okay. So, the forward pass help you to understand the project duration and calculations of the early state and early finish values. So, it is mainly it is a method for calculating the earliest possible start and finish dates for each task in a project based on task dependency and durations. So, this is the main concept we have to be see one by one by this forward pass technique. So, today business we have to be across a many number of projects. Each projects can have the own scheduled. Okay. So, schedule means what? So, for a single project can have the more number of tasks. So, for each and every task can be committed with some time of the durations. So, within the durations only we have to be complete the task of the single project. So, the overall how much of the time based on the completion of the project which comes under the scheduling of the project. So, this scheduling can be mainly generated by the system or manually. So, it can be used, it can be allocated with the some durations for any types of task inside the project. Okay. So, basically we should schedule the project, we should know how we schedule the project, and how the values are calculated. So, this two things are mainly based on forward pass technique can be calculated using the AON, activity on node diagram. So, these are the basic terms which comes under the forward pass technique is, first one is activity and second one is duration, early start, early finish, late start, late finish. So, what is activity? Activity is the task name. Then what is the duration? Duration is nothing but the amount of times required to complete the project scheduling for the given activity. Then early start. Early start means to start the project scheduling activity at earliest. And what is early finish? To finish the activity of the project scheduling at earliest. Then late start. So, what is the late start means? Late start is nothing but to start the project without having as much as of any delay to complete the project scheduling activity. Then late finish, this is also the same thing like to finish the project activity, scheduling activity without having any much of the delay. Now, let us see, this is the node representation of the forward pass technique. So, here in this diagrammatic representation, if you see the for 6 quadrants are they divided, for each quadrants they are having the some specifications of the project scheduling First one is early start and second one is activity, then early finish. Then here is this a late start, duration and late finish. So, this is the early start, activity and early finish. This three things is mainly constructed by using the forward pass technique. Late start, duration and late finish. These three things may be constructed by using the backward pass technique. So, now let us see the one simple example how can you construct the forward pass technique. So, in this example if you see the project, if you see here the tackling a project that have the 5 different tasks. So, here the activity A, B, C, D, E, these are the number of tasks for the single project. For each activity the durations also given. So, for using this forward pass technique, we have to be calculate the early start and early finish values. So, this is the simple network diagram constructed by the given project values. So, previously if you see that the activity A, the labels, the headings given here is activity, depend on and duration. So, depend on means here if the activity A, B, C, D, E, if the activity A is depend on any other activity, here nothing. So, the activity A is the starting node. So, the B he depend on A activity. So, here the activity after the completion of the workflow of A, then only B will start the work. Then here C is the third activity. So, it is also depends upon the activity of A. So, after the completion of the workflow of A only, C will start the work. So, C will start the upcoming works from after completion of A and B. So, here C is the activity depends on D. So, D depends on C. After the completion workflow of the C only, D will start the work. So, as like this the E also depend on D. So, this is the activity based upon the durations also given. Now, we are simply construct the forward pass technique. How can you draw the diagram, network diagram for this given values? So, this is the simple diagram. Here you see the in this question A is the activity between B and C. For the activity A, there is no depend on any activity. So, if you draw this diagram, A is the activity, is the dependent activity for both B and C. So, you give the path from A to B and A to C. Then you see here C is the activity depend on A. So, up to this completed. Then how can you draw the another activity D? So, D is depend on C. So, C, D is depend on C. So, C after the completion only D will start the work. As like that D is another activity. So, this is a final activity, it's depend E is depend on D. So, here so E is a depend on D. So, D is completion only, E will start the work. So, this is the simple network diagram to draw for this given values. Now, let us see the formula to calculate the forward pass technique. So, here ES, EF, because by using the forward pass technique we can only calculate the early start and early finish value. Okay. ES means early start. So, is equal to maximum or highest EF value only taken between the dependency of the activities, and EF is the early finish which can be calculated by using the formula ES plus duration. So, this is the simple forward pass technique, how the activities can be moved one by one by using this forward pass method. So, here the first activity A. So, this is the node representation format only. You can use the you can draw the network diagram first. So the node representation, we are having the 6 quadrant. So for the node construction, you construct the 6 quadrant node for all the activities. So here first you see the activity A, and the duration value for the activity A is 2. Okay. So first the starting early state is 0 because A is depend on no any other activities. So first the early start value you put here is 0. So here you put 0 first. So the completion of the activity of A with the duration time is 2 days. So 0 plus 2, here 2 is the duration. So the early start of the value of the previous any activity is 0. 0 plus 2, you get the finishing value of the activity A is 2 here. So the A workflow will be take as the completion of 2 days. So next we move to the how can you draw the B and C? See here in this example, B is dependent on A, C is also dependent on A. Okay. So from A you take the another activity is B and another activity is C. So then how can you calculate the early finish value? So if you see early finish value of A is 2 here. So you use this 2 for the early start value of B. So here 2, so use this 2 for this, the starting value of B here 2, and the time durations for the given value of B is 5. So 5 plus 2 here you get the early finish value of activity B is 7. So 7 days will take to complete the workflow of B activity. So now let us move to the C. See here, if you see the early finish value of A is 2, so use this value to the early start value of 2 here, and the time duration given for the C is 3 days. So for 2 plus 3, you totally having the 5 days to complete the work for the C activity here. So you complete the activity of A, B and C, then D and E is the remaining activity. So how can you calculate? It's easily to understand. So you calculate the value of D is, if you see the D is dependent on any activity, yes, D is dependent on the activity C. So use the early value of C to the D value. So here the early finish value of C is 5. So use this early start value of 5 D here. So this is the duration for the completion of the work of D. So 5 plus 1. So the duration take place for early finish value of D is 6 here. So totally it will take the 6 days for to complete the activity. Activity means task work for of D here. Then last final is E. So here he used the 6 as the early finish value of D. So use the same thing. Here is a early start value of E here. So the time duration given for E is 4. So 6 plus 4, the totally 10 days have to be completed for the overall work of project start from the activity A to E. This is the destination node and this is the starting node. So this is the forward pass technique. In the upcoming series, I will give you the lecture on backward pass technique. So thank you so much. Thank you.